How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the channel. This is Big Day Dave, and this is a map tour for a new mod map to Farming Simulator 25 for all platforms called Hagenstedt. And we're going to start with the description from the mod hub, and it reads, "Welcome back to Hagenstedt, the iconic map from Farming Simulator 2013. Now the map features a modern look while preserving the essence of the original version. It includes 42 fields with missions, 142 farmlands. The entire map area is purchasable. Various areas for work and leisure. Farms with sheds, storage buildings, and houses only functional after purchasing the land. Animal pens for cows, sheep, and chickens. Vehicle shops with workshop. 7 sale points for a wide range of products. BGA, lime station, 2 fuel stations, new foliage for painting, 100 collectible horseshoes. Have fun. This is a European map created by DH Modding and is 427.84 megabytes to download. There are mods required for this map, and they are the Hagenstedt houses, Hagenstedt husbandries, Hagenstedt sheds, and Hagenstedt storages. They are all created by DH Modding. If we take a look at the map, this is what it looks like. We start out by owning farmlands numbered 16 and 104. 16 is a wheat field that is ready to harvest, and 104 is our main starting farm. We can purchase all areas on the map, and the prices on the map do vary. So if we take a look at this field here, 71,000, 165, 150, 358, 742, 264, 117, 105, 292, 147, 420, 794, and so on and so forth. We do get some like forestry bits throughout the area. We also get some kind of just outskirts periphery. There's even a little golf course down here for $4.1 million if you want to go ahead and purchase that. We do start out with an animal pen. We do have a chicken pasture. We do have contracts available on this map. We do not start out with any production chains, but there are a couple available on this map. And then if we take a look at the statistics screen here, we do have collectibles available on this map, 100 of them to be precise. If we take a look at the mods specific to this map, starting with the buy menu, there is no mods or DLCs tab here, so there are no mods specific to this map. And then if we take a look under the build menu, starting out here under buildings, there's nothing under sheds, but under silos. So we scroll all the way down, you will see, scroll all the way down, you'll see the, where is it? There it is. The manure heap here with the Hagenstedt mod. That is a mod that is specific to this map. There's nothing for silo extensions or constructibles, but here under containers, scroll down, you will see the water tank Hagenstedt mod. That is another one specific to this map. Nothing for tools or for farmhouses. There is absolutely nothing under the productions tab, nothing under the animals tab, but under the the decorations tab, nothing under fences, nothing under lights, but under others. We scroll all the way down, and again, you'll see several of the Hagenstedt mod. Those are ones that are specific to this map. And then again, under decorations, we scroll all the way down to the very bottom. You'll see quite a few of the decorations here are for Hagenstedt mods specific to this map. And then lastly, here under the landscaping tab, under our painting swatches, we have quite a bit of additional painting swatches here. And then nothing for trees, but under plants, we scroll all the way down, you will see a couple of plants here that are specific to this map. Now we do start here at the starting farm, so let's take a look at some of our starting equipment. We go under this screen and go to vehicles. We start out with the FarmTech EDK 650 trailer, the Fiat 16090 DT. We have the Horse Credo 3 Power Harrow, the Horse Versa Cedar, the International Series 200 truck, John Deere's 3650, got the Noach Eco Cultivator 300. We have the Massey Ferguson 8570 harvester header. We got the Pottinger Servo 25 plow, 10 Winkle top 450 weight, another 450 weight, and that is it. So let's go ahead and start making our way around the map. So over here, we have a wardrobe trigger right there. On this side of the building is a sleep trigger. Hop over the fence. Right next door is another sleep trigger and another wardrobe trigger right here. We have a water tank right here. Go run through the bushes right over here. Directly in front of me, this is a silo. Now, I believe this is specifically for root crops. So you can see here, kind of the plane that you're able to load into, and then you unload from the back over there. Now, directly in front of me is a fertilizer tank. This is essentially a silo for your herbicide and fertilizer. So you can see herbicide, liquid fertilizer. Over here, we have the bale and pallet storage. So you can take out from here and put in 250 right here. Fuel tank right here. Over here, we have our chicken pasture with room for 360 chickens. We start out with one in here. You can see them just kind of roaming around in there. We can load in here, feed here, and output for eggs right there. Then over here, we have our grain silo. And that's it for the farm. So let's go ahead and grab this little Fiat over here, and we're going to start making our way around the map. Okay. Alright, so I'm not quite sure what exactly was going on with my audio, but for some reason, every time I'd hop into the Fiat there and start driving around, the audio would peak and just completely cut out everything. So not quite sure what's going on there. That might be something that needs to be addressed by the map maker. I have no idea. But we are heading out from the main farm and heading over to the shop area, which is coming up right over here. So directly in front of me, right here, is the repair trigger. Right here. Then inside the shop, shop trigger right there. Now it says that there's music that can play here, but I wasn't hearing anything. So not quite sure what the story is with that. Across the street is the gas station. Right over here. Cut through over here. Over here is AI helper Walter, right there. Then we're going to head down here. And now over here, that is, that is the town restaurant sell point, right there. And now we're gonna follow this out of town. We're going to head out to the north here, and we're just going to follow this down and around. And as we continue to follow this road, it starts to level out over here. You can see the land to my left here is purchasable, so you can purchase all these sheds and storage area right here. Over here we have a gas station right there. Here we have another water tank right there. Now the fertilizer tank right in front of me. And over here, for some reason, we have a truck parked right here. So might as well get into this thing because this will get going a little bit faster. And under the awning there, that is the farmer's market sell point. Now heading out to the west. We'll turn here. All right, so up on this ramp here is the port sell point. Lime stations right here, debris crushers right next to it. And then over here we have the port sawmill sell point with a wood cell trigger just by the building over there. We continue to follow this towards the south. We're basically going to make our way around this field here. Pass this car here, make a right. Now back here, on this ramp is the freight yard sell point right here. Off to the left there, that red barrel is the fuel tank, and that is the lime station. Now heading off of here, gonna take a little liberty with the map. We're gonna come out behind this building over here. Go across the tracks, through the grass, and over here we have another water tank right there. The reason we kind of took liberty right there is because otherwise we have to go all the way back out of the complex just to come back over to this side of the buildings. As you can see, it kind of converges right about here. So now we're just going to follow this back out because we got to basically backtrack a ways. Continuing out towards town there. Just keep on heading the direction we came in at. It's pretty much on this part of the map, there's pretty much one way in and one way out. Going up this hill. Into town here. Turn right. Right. Left. Wow. And come out the other side. Another water tank to my left here. Coming up in front of me, we have a fuel tank off to the right. A bunch of bunker silos right here. And tucked away in the back, we have us a biogas plant. You can purchase it for $1,700,000. We have our solid inputs go in here. Liquid inputs over here and liquid outputs, aka digestate, are right there. Continue on down the road. Right here, we'll make a left. Now coming up in front of me there, that is the Lost Horseshoe Inn sell point. And then coming up here on my left, under the awning, that's AI Helper Noah, as well as another water tank right there. Go up this hill. Another water tank right here. As we continue to follow this road, makes a sharp bend to the left, and now coming up here, another water tank right there. And over here, we have the dairy. You can buy this for $650,000. We have our outputs here and inputs on the side over here. Oh, actually, forgot I need to go around the back side of this building. Following this uphill. All right, tucked away over here, we have AI Helper David standing in the background there. Directly in front of me is the Garden Center sell point, and beyond that is the fertilizer tank buy point. Let's see, I think, if I remember correctly, okay, right here we have fuel tank. Tucked away in here, we have AI Helper Ben under the awning, and we have right there the spinnery for $700,000. You can purchase a spinnery. We have our input here and our output just over there. Backtrack out a little ways. Now we follow this. All the way up here. As we continue to follow this road out towards the east, and over here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut through right here, get connected to this, because again, similar to the last one, if I don't cut through here, I'm going to have to go way out of the way to get to the main or actual road connection. Water tank is right here. And then coming up here, We have the animal dealer. Now you can come here and purchase your animal directly using this particular purchasing point right here, or you can use this same icon at any pens and pastures you have listed around the map. If you use this icon directly, though, you will incur an additional fee. That fee is associated to a delivery fee. The animal dealer is taking the animals from this location, delivering them to whatever pen and pasture you want them to place them to around the map. Now, to kind of give you a little context, an adult cow costs you an additional $100 per adult cow. So that adds up very, very quickly. So in this case, it'd be $1,275 for one cow that's being delivered, as opposed to just a base price of $1,175. So that adds up pretty quickly. So if you want to save that money, you can bring an animal trailer to this location, park it within this hazard mark area here, and then utilize this dialog box. You will then be able to purchase the animals and load them directly into the trailer rather than having the animal dealer deliver them for you. And Helper Katie is right there, and we have the animal dealer sell point right here. Now we're continuing around the golf course. Way over here. Make a right. And now followed by a left. Let's see. I believe I follow this around over here. And tucked away back here, we take a look at the map. So we start out here on the main farm right next to our sleep trigger and wardrobe triggers. We actually have two of those right there. We went around the entire starting farm. We then came down to the shop area, over to the gas station, over to see AI Helper Walter, and then the restaurant sell point. I believe it was called what was it called? The town restaurant sell point. We came through town, up and around, where we saw the water tank, the gas station, the fertilizer tank, and then we picked up our car right here, and we came out front and we saw the farmer's market sell point. We then saw the port sell point, then the lime station buy point, the debris crusher sell point, as well as the port sawmill. Came down here, down, and we saw the freight yard sell point, as well as seeing it from a distance the gas tank here, the fuel tank, and the lime station. We came out and around to see the water tank here, and then we followed this back up and around, had to go back all the way through, cut through town. We saw the water tank here, the fuel tank here, biogas plant. Then we came out to the Lost Horseshoe Inn sell point, saw AI Helper Noah, as well as another water tank. Came down here, saw another water tank, down and around over to the water tank, and then to the dairy. We then followed this. We then came out back here. We saw AI Helper David, and then the garden center sell point, as well as the fertilizer tank buy point. Then came down and around where we saw the. Let's see. I think we saw the gas station here, as well as the spinnery and AI Helper Walter. No, Ben. AI Helper Ben. Came back out, followed this down and around over to the golf course over here, where we saw the water tank, animal dealer, AI Helper Katie, as well as the animal dealer sell point. Came back out and around, met up to here, came down and around to farmland number 141. Can be purchased for $237,000 and $120 on top of that. We go ahead and buy that, and we have a cow pasture. As you can see, we have room for 474 cows. Water goes in here. We have a new manure heap right there. Come around to this side. We can put in right here. Feed goes here. Slurry over here. And milk in the distance over there. Bunker silo on this side of the fence over here. Now we need to go back up this hill. All the way up here. Water tank right up here. Now as we follow this road, whoops, I was looking down at the, let's see, at the map. We come down here. We follow this. To the grain mill sell point right there. Now we follow the road back here, up this hill. And now turn here. All right, now tucked away over here, we'll come to a stop right here. Take a look at the map once again. We're here at the farmland, wow, cow pasture. That's the words. Those are words that we're looking for. We then saw the manure heap as well as the bunker silo, came down and around, saw the water tank right here, came up and through to the grain mill sell point here, came around and backtracked over to farmland number 135, $414,180. Go ahead and purchase that. And we have room for 454 sheep. Feed goes here, water goes here, wool spawns, wool and milk spawn right there. Now over here, we have a bale and pallet storage with room with 250 spaces on it. And now, I'm going to follow this back here, and then we're going to go all the way down towards the southern portion of the map to catch our last point of interest. Right back here, you can see it on the map, is another water tank. And that's it. That is everything here on Hagenstedt. Now it's time to render my opinion and let you know what I think. 0 to 5 scale as per usual. I like this map. I think that this is a very nice version of the map. So I'm only familiar with the FS22 version, as I haven't played this map for any of the farming simulators that I've gotten to play up to this point, which is only 19 and 22 prior to 25 here. So this being the kind of first, well now second actually, iteration that I've experienced, I can tell you that this is what I feel to be a far more mature version of the map itself. It just feels like it's really come together and it's really kind of come into its own on this version of the map. I really like it. I think this is a really good example of what you can do when you want to take an old school kind of map and kind of rehash and relitigate and rebuild it. I think it looks great. Color palette is very nice. It's not like cartoonish or anything like that, so you don't have a bunch of wildflowers that are kind of dressing it up and make it like ultra colorful and stuff like that. The terrain is wonderful. There's so many different levels of terrain on this. You get the nice smooth areas, you get the kind of whoop-de-doo areas, and then you get the extremely elevated areas as well. I mean, you get a nice little mixture of all the various things. So between the color palette, the topography of the landscape, I think this is a really solid map, and I think that it also is going to be one of those where, for a new player, it can be a nice little challenge because look at the fields. They're mostly squared off for the most part. Going to be very worker friendly. Going to be very kind of like, I don't want to use it derogatorily, but it's kind of basic farming. In regards to, you're talking very squared off fields, so it's not really like a Stone Valley kind of thing where it's got a lot of twists and turns and like within the fields themselves. It's very simple farming. Then you also take into account the terrain itself. The terrain in a lot of areas is really aggressive. Like you can see right here, it's really aggressive. But within the fields themselves, for the most part, it's pretty chill. I mean, it's not like flat by any means. You can see this one here is, got a pretty big mound in it. But for the most part, they're flat. But you're still able to kind of take a peek around and enjoy like the different terrain angles and all that stuff, but you're not having to consider, oh man, how am I going to get this field done because it's on such a steep decline. This is a really nice feature too, this kind of stream that's flowing through the middle of the map here. It's really nice. And again, just everywhere you look, you got nice undulations, nice curvatures, the hills and valleys, the dips, the bobs and weaves, all the stuff that you get on this map. It's really, really nice. So what would I give this map? 0 to 5 scale as per usual. I'd probably give this a solid 4. I think this is a very solid map, a very solid rendition. Like I said, this is only the second iteration I've had experience with, but of the two that I've played up until this point, I like this version better. I think it looks great. And you got the nice little waterfall here on the side here too. So yeah, you can't go wrong with this map. I think it's a very solid one. But I hope you enjoyed this map tour, and if you did, please show me by liking, sharing, subscribing, following, commenting, doing all the things the algorithms enjoy you doing. This shows you're engaged with this channel and enjoying the content. That being said, I hope everybody has a fantastic day. Take care.